I think that a lot of people are completely missing how important getting Anthony Stolarz is. Now, it's not that I don't think that there's criticism of this move by the Maple Leafs getting him. Like, I never really touched on Stolarz too much, obviously because I didn't really start this channel, but I've always wanted to make a video on what I believe about the Leafs goaltending just in general. I think it is going to be huge because one of the biggest things when it comes to being, I wouldn't say an NHL starter, because I don't think either of these players are a solidified starter at least yet, but just being healthy enough to actually be available for games. And I know that might sound simplistic, but it's one of the hardest things to do, right? NHL goaltending is different because you have to drop into the butterfly, you have to move around and stop shots and get back up, and a lot of these guys are really, really big guys, and it puts a lot of strain on their body, right? Like any NHL goalie will tell you, or any goalie in general will tell you, that it's very difficult on your body. Now, with saying that, we see how difficult it is on goalies like, for example, Joseph Woll, right? Now, I think that Joseph Woll, in terms of raw talent, is a more talented goalie than Anthony Stolarz. But I think Anthony Stolarz is going to be the Leafs starting goalie this year. To me, the way I think, now this isn't me trying to be negative, it's just me looking into the history of Joseph Woll and analyzing it properly, in my opinion. It's not if Joseph Woll gets injured, it's when he gets injured. Dude, this guy couldn't play Game 7 because he got injured. Now, that's fine. I get it. He doesn't want to play or he can't play Game 7 because he was injured. I'm not going to make fun of him. I get it. It is what it is. But if he can't force his way into that game, the most important game of his career, by the way, what do you think is going to happen in the regular season? And the Leafs went ahead and signed him when I don't think that they should have. Now, from the Maple Leafs perspective, they're thinking, well, we're going to have to take a bet, right? What that was is it was a bet. We're going to bet on this player blossoming into a NHL starter. That worries me. I understand what they're thinking because they really like his skill set. And apparently I was watching or listening to the Leaf Report, and they were analyzing the Leafs goaltending, and I believe Jonas Siegel said, rightfully so, that goaltending is the biggest question mark, and he's absolutely right. I think it was goaltending or defense that he said, but one of the two, maybe it was Frankie Corrado, he said that it was goaltending, and he was absolutely right about that. Now, Joseph Woll is going to get injured this season, and then who are they going to call up? I mean, who would you prefer? Drop it in the comments. Matt Murray? I mean, I don't know about that. Personally, in my opinion, I'd like to see Dennis Hildeby, because I'm already mentally planning for Joseph Woll to get injured. And listen, I love the kid. Seems like a great kid. Stays away from the idiocy of social media. Really great kid. Seems like a genuine guy. I would love for him to play like 50 games for the Leafs this year. 60, God. Is that going to happen? I mean, whatever it is, I don't get what it is these days, but it's like young guys' bodies break down much quicker as NHL goalies than they did in the past. Like back in the day, these guys were built like milk bags, and they were able to play like 70 games. They just showed up and they just always played. I don't know what they're putting in the water of the thing, or whatever the kids are drinking these days, but this guy, he just can't stay healthy. I hate to say it, but he can't stay healthy. Now, when it comes to Anthony Stolarz, a lot of people are going to slide in the comments, and they're going to rightfully say something like, oh, Anthony Stolarz has only played a max of 28 games for the Anaheim Ducks, and they're right about that. Now, one thing that I would point to, though, is that I always look at the history of a goalie. What does the entire history of a goaltender show you? And Joseph Woll has never really made, I think he played for Boston College, and he played something like 35 games maybe, and that was like once. Anthony Stolarz in the American Hockey League has played 47 games, which tells me that his body can hold up to at least tandem numbers. I wouldn't say 47 a starter. You got to get 55 games to be a starter. But it shows that he can show up every single day, and his body won't give out on him. I'm telling you guys, that is one of the most important things that you guys don't understand. Oh, and by the way, they have Dennis Hildeby, who last year proved that he can play 41 games, reliably so, and he's a huge guy too. I honestly think that the Leafs went ahead and signed Joseph Woll way too early. I think that he needs to prove that he can stay healthy. That's just my opinion. Anthony Stolarz this year, you can come back to this video if I'm wrong and make fun of me, but Anthony Stolarz is the Maple Leaf starter this year. I'm telling you right now. I'll bet you any, and listen, you don't know Craig Berube. Craig Berube is different. He doesn't care what a guy's getting paid. If you can win, you can win. Craig Berube doesn't care, right? I'll bet you any money Anthony Stolarz is going to be the game one starter for the Maple Leafs as well. I think he might throw some spice in it and really be the game one starter as well. Anyways, I'm going to leave this video there. This is a video I've wanted to make for a little while. It's just my opinion on the Leafs goaltending, but drop your opinion below. If you disagree with me, if you agree with me, why I'm wrong, why I'm right. If you could drop a like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And by the way, have a great day, guys. Goodbye.